Hello again, and welcome to another top 10 worst of list. The tops in worst lists, as it were, the best of worst. Uh, an odyssey into a profoundly insightful, intrepid, unabashed view of the world around us, tearing away all the lies and obfuscations imposed upon us by a third-party outsourced propaganda ministry that we lovingly refer to as the mainstream media. I'm your host for today's endeavor. My name is Doug Graves, and it's a real pleasure to be here because this is just, I've seen a lot of top 10 worst lists in my time. I have. And this one is, the be-all, end-all of top 10 worst ofs. It's indescribable. The visionary level of insight and profundity is beyond anything is beyond anything I've ever scoped out. And of course it is top 10, what is it again? Top 10 worst motivational phrases. And look, let's be honest with each other right here, right now, for once. Okay? We've been demotivated by the crypto fascists at the top of the food chain for all of our lives. They've hit us with social Darwinism. I know you don't know what that means, but look it up. There's a glossary of terms at the end of this video. It's basically where they give jobs to people that suck and make it easier for people that suck to thrive in society. And then they take away all the jobs and opportunities for people that are chill and make it more difficult for them to survive. Okay? Social Darwinism they've even infiltrated our, music, which is one of the most inspiring inventions of mankind. And can be a huge tool to inhibit the acuity of depression, bouts of depression, downward emotional troughs. They say, I think only exercise is a better tool for abating the deep, deleterious effects of depression and surface-mindedness in society at large. But now, music is just like this mechanical, computerized garbage that in most cases is more about product placement and social engineering than it is about, liberation or intellectual awareness or emotional exploration or just plain old good vibes. None of that exists anymore. It's all just a bunch of robotic. I assert, and I've asserted before, that the most influential artist in the history of music is Milli Vanilli, because those guys are the archetypes for the entirety of all of what music is. A couple of people, a couple of models and stuff posing as a band that really had nothing to do with the music. The music is all created by a bunch of phonies and sellouts, psyops pros, all designed to dumb us down, dull us down, detach us from the essential elements of what it is to be a human being. And it has a real negative effect on the quality of our lives and the quality within ourselves, the soulfulness, some of the most essential elements of what being a human being is really all about. Are you with me? High five. Too slow. So I've got this list here, 10 worst motivational phrases that are designed to try and this is a total public service, man. I want you to take it to heart that I've made great sacrifices to be able to get to this point, this place where I can reach out to you in spite of being, blacklisted and shadow banned and horrendously sick all the time and massive amounts of pain, being attacked and destroyed by the people I spent 30 years self-sacrificing to try and prop up. It's a true story. Morning glory. But before we get to the list, I have a different list. The pre-list, as it were. Just a couple of disclaimers before we get started. Number one, I am, just a bit of an oddball, okay? I've spent 30 years trying to start a bloodless revolution to bring equity for all and liberate our minds, souls, culture, bodies, and spirits from our greed-addled overlords. And so in that time, I've been a promoter of shows, couple thousand shows, local television series here in Chicago, local radio series, all dedicated to exposing artists, distributing their efforts without ever editorializing, without ever telling them who to be, or what to do, or what to say. And pretty much taking on like people at all different levels, beginners, intermediates, semi-pros, and just trying to promote them and distribute. It's just because, like I realized early on, that all of media, everybody has distribution power, are all crypto fascists. Sorry, not sorry. And everything that we see, everything that we're allowed to see by the gatekeepers who are managing all of this stuff is all curated. They've got it now to the point where I think they can curate things in real time. Case in point. Let's say, and I'll keep this real easy for you so you can just follow along with it and the basics without getting into all the higher level intrusive tools that they've utilized against us. But let's say you're on a social network, Facebook, let's keep it simple. And you click on a lot of stories that have to do with guitars. After a very short while, maybe even like the first couple of clicks, all of a sudden in your news feed, right near the top, you'll start seeing ads about guitars or about music. And, I guess on a very simplistic level, which is where most of your minds are comfortable with, seeing as the United States is on average a fifth grader reading level skill. But you see these things and you think, okay, well, all right, so they're showing me stuff that I clicked on. Big whoop. It is a big whoop. You know why? Because you're the only one seeing that ad in that sequence, because they got you uh, by analyzing your clicks and tying them into you with your the IP address. So they, in almost real time, and in some cases now, I think all in real time, they can start placing ads into your feed. They customize your feed based on who you are. They know who you are, they know what your interests are, and they can show you whatever they want individually customized to each and every one of us. And if they can do that for ads, they can do it for anything, everything that we see on the web. That's how powerful the AI is already. They've got us, 9 ways to Sunday. So if I click on, if I go to an aggregate news site and I click on 5 different stories or something like that, it isn't just 5 random stories. It's 5 stories based on what they want me to see. And they can do it individually now, automatically, for everyone on planet Earth. This is bad news, man. You know what? I don't even want to talk to you anymore. You're just not taking this seriously enough. I'm here busting my hump, trying to get you fresh perspectives on stuff, a top 10 worst of list of very high quality, somewhere ranked between a B minus and a B level of content quality. Good. And you're just sitting there like a lump on a log, like usual. Oh, titillate me, or I'll just click on something else. My attention span is gone. I don't have any contextual framework knowledge, but anything that has happened before 5 minutes ago. I don't know why I bother. You really know how to make a guy feel unwanted. And it's like almost on a level of abusiveness. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. Oh, all right. I forgive you. Gosh, I can never stay mad at you. So anyway, they got us to the point where they can decide everything that we see in real time. I think that they can make this stuff up on the fly. Like all the articles that I see when I'm scrolling, I have a suspicion that they make that stuff up as I scroll. That's how fast the quantum processing and the AI is. And that's how much they know us. So, they'll figure out a way to victimize each and every one of us, whatever the path is. They'll show me a bunch of things that I find repulsive in an effort to try to throw me off my game and distract me with a bunch of pictures of evil-looking weird lizard people and stuff that, gets under my skin, or pictures of Elizabeth Hurley in a bikini. Oh, I don't know why they keep feeding me pictures of Elizabeth frickin' Hurley. She's like somebody's mother. She's like 75 years old. Why would I want to see Elizabeth Hurley in a bikini? Well, I'm getting up there pretty old, so, but anyway, who the hell is Elizabeth Hurley anymore? That I would get every couple of days or so, I'd see something about Elizabeth Hurley looks fantastic in her new bikini. Who gives a rat's ass? I check the news. I don't know one thing I check in the news for. Updates on the Kardashian family. Just like everybody else, right? Anybody? High five? Too slow. Number 2. Oh yeah. So anyway, I'm an oddball. So I wouldn't trust anybody that you can actually see. Everything is manipulated. Our entire existence is curated now. You got to take everything that you see, even these like trusted resources, or people, John like say, lefties are thinking Jon Stewart's on the level. Jon Stewart's a big giant freaking sellout. He'll say a bunch of things that have like this immediate surface-minded appeal to lefties and whatnot. But when it comes right down to push or shove, immediately preceding the 2004 presidential election, he's on the air talking about how Kill Tony's joke about giant floating islands of Puerto Rico being a giant floating island of garbage. And he said, "Oh, what are you getting so upset about for it? It's just a joke, this blah, blah, blah." And they show the clip, and then they come back and they look at him, and he's laughing. And this is the same episode that he announced that he got a big fat new contract for another year extension and stuff like that. Oh, thanks, Jon Stewart. Thanks for being that bulwark, that steel curtain between, the massive amount of right-wing leaning and ultra-right-wing leaning media that we're bombarded with, while all the powers that be keep telling us it's liberal media. It's the biggest joke in the whole freaking world. Show me one person in media that's got green light power that isn't the member of an ultra-right conservative corporation. You can't, because it doesn't exist. And be like, "Oh, what about Disney? What about Disney? Well, why don't we watch Hannah Montana on nonstop loop for 4 hours or something like that, and come out of it as like a brain dead zombie, and then you'll know why not. What Disney, a whitewashing pile of garbage those people are, and they'll pretend that they're a little left of center sometimes, but that's just a game that they play to max out on their profitability and get creative people to work for them that do all that stuff, because it's you got to have a sort of like a mind and a soul and a spirit of a child to write some of that stuff. And that they don't mean any of it. Toy Story, what is Toy Story really? It's a bunch of toys that, they're merchandising to kids. It's an infomercial for Slinky Dogs and Buzz Lightyear action figures. And then there's Lizzie McGuire and the Jonas Brothers and the blah, 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 blah. The endless stream of nothingness. Dark-hearted spirit of the demon. Get to Disney. And that's not even talking about all of his really spectacular achievements in the area and the arena of human rights and equity. Song of the South, or any of those old cartoons that nobody wants to talk about anymore, with the depictions of black people as inhuman animals. And Mickey Mouse's gloves, which are leftovers from actual minstrel show blackface outfits. The white gloves in all the minstrel shows, all the people doing blackface are all wearing the white gloves. The white gloves that Mickey Mouse is wearing are the white gloves from the minstrel show blackface outfits. It's blackface. Their emblem is blackface. And the real blackface, not just, people dressing up like Michael Jackson in 1984 as sort of like trying to be cool because of how immensely great Michael Jackson was back in that era, before any of the weirdness, before he was, quite frankly, I believe, killed off as part of that whole, getting set on fire in the Pepsi commercial. I think that, I'll be honest with you, man, you're going to think I'm nuts, but I don't care what you think anymore, because you're the one that's nuts. Michael Jackson was not, I believe he was replaced by a body double. Subsequent to the Pepsi commercial, when he got set on fire, And that's when all the weirdness started happening. Believe what you want. I don't care. I really don't. I'm at the end of my string. I also think so is the human race. Here comes the AI robots any minute now. If you want to keep, letting them spoon feed you all the fecal matter and commercialized, whitewashed nonsense, have at it. You know something's wrong. You just don't know what it is. I'm telling you how it is. Believe it or not, I don't care. Look it up. Look at Mickey Mouse. He's got the white gloves. Mickey Mouse was created in like the 20s when they were all doing blackface. Al Jolson, the first talkie movie, was in 1927. The Jazz Singer, starring Al Jolson. Al Jolson appears in it in blackface. The very first talking motion picture has blackface in it. Okay? And he's got the white gloves on. Same as Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie all the way till today. You rotten bastard, scum-sucking brown nosers. So if I say any of this stuff, look it the freak up. Please, I beg of you, do not trust me. Find out for yourself. That's for everything. Everything that we're seeing now is because some evildoer wants us to see it. There is no any freedom anywhere. And nothing is editorial free that has any network. Alt-right, alt-left, blah, blah, TikTok, all garbage. It will only get distributed. The end of net neutrality, for sure, was the end of it, but really it happened when MySpace was bought out by Rupert Murdoch, but Fox News jerk-off, closet Nazi pig. Ever since then, it's been all curated, and it's been driving us towards having social networking being nothing more than social engineering. And it's all curated. Number 2, I'm not partisan. I'm not going to play your stupid ass game. Okay? Anytime that and I'm not talking about hate groups or anything like that. I'm not talking about, Proud Boys. I'm not talking about the alt-left crowd who beat up and killed that shop owner on Chicago's North Side who said like a couple things that wasn't to their liking, and they forced him to close his business. I can't remember the guy's name. It was up on the north side of Chicago. Just recently died. Just dropped dead. Nobody's talking about any investigations of it, but it's getting impossible for people to be able to come up with enough of a centralized, cohesive effort to collaborate on overthrowing our nasty-ass overlords. So it's not going to happen. But the thing is that when you just sort of say like all right-wingers are cult members, or you say that all alt-left people are, trans athletes, that broad brushstroke approach is all bigoted, all bigotry. It's like I'm only at this point and everything, I'm only down with doing to others as you would have them doing to you, the golden rule. That's it. That's all that's left. All of you people want to play this right versus left game, have at it. Beat the hell out of each other. The real enemy that has set us all up to fail is laughing all the way to the bank And the only thing that makes them happy is seeing good people suffer. And if you want to, give them a big giant victory, that's up to you. But certainly everything that you're doing, marching around with funny signs, you think that's going to do it? That's going to change the world? Good luck. Because the Democratic Party is all, pretty much all the big players in the Democratic Party are all sold out to the power apparatus anyway. You got nobody, nothing, anywhere in the economy and politics and our culture that has any compulsion to help out the working class, the blue-collar types, the poor, the independent business owners, independent-minded people. You're all enemies of the state from both parties. Nobody's going to help you. Nobody's doing anything to help you. Anyway, so let's get on with today's top 10 words. But before we do, just one final thing. I've got sponsors to be able. People are going to think that this something like this lo-fi, crazy-haired, nobody, washout, pudgy blimp is going to be able to get some sponsorship. But I do looking for some. Remember, you should always keep in mind that Christmas is never more than 364 days away. So with that in mind, why not take a stop over to Bed Bath & Beyonce? From the people that brought you Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyonce offers you bedding stuff, bath stuff, and Beyonce's latest sellout conformist, trite, forgettable plastic garbage manufactured by a bunch of people that she probably doesn't even know. Bed Bath & Beyonce. And it's a sequel. Finally. The sequel everybody's been clamoring for the last hour or so. The sequel to Wuthering Heights. It's Wuthering Speculum. The immortal classic love story of a woman that falls in love with her gynecologist speculum. Told through love letters that they write to each other. It's love Wuthering Speculum. And I don't even know what this is first name. Oh, yeah, Dead Man Walking. From the producers of Dead Man Walking. It's First Man Sitting. Live Man Sitting. Oh, I blew it. From the producer, let me try to get take two. From the producers of Dead Man Walking, now comes the sequel without equal. It's Live Man Sitting. Not even a good delivery, semi-good. Delivery could save that material from bombing. All right, so anyway, finally down to the top 10 worst of lists. Again, as I teased out before, what a list. Top 10 worst motivational phrases. Number 10. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. Ooh, baby. That one will get you jumping. Special. Very special. Can you imagine just when you find yourself in times of, trouble? And this phrase, you come upon this phrase scrawled on the bathroom stall at your local food court. And it's turned your whole life around, man. That's what Top 10 Worst Of is here for. It's not really criticism. It's not really about being negative. It's about providing some support for those who've become sort of cast-offs in society at large because of the forced perspective that's imposed upon us by a bunch of Yale MFA graduates who've all been trained in manipulation and using marketing tools as psychological warfare being perpetrated against us all. So you get like things like, no use crying over spilled milk, and if you can't beat them, join them. Like all these conformist phrases that are built into every aspect of all the things that we see. How about like any old Jim Carrey movie, where he's like trying to work hard, sacrifice everything he can to, make a life, a career, meaningful career, and his family comes in and is like, why are you working so hard? You're neglecting us by not doting on us incessantly. And then by the end of the movie, so he's made to be a villain for working hard, for having ambition. Almost every one of his movies does this to us. And it's intentional. This is psychological warfare. They're socially engineering us to be unambitious, to be, pawns in the chess game of life. And so they infuse these phrases into our language, and then they'll make these movies and stuff. By the end of the movie, Carrie becomes a hero by giving up on his dreams. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't know what I'm saying. You really desperately need to know what I'm saying. Okay? Number 9, there are 2 types of pains. One that hurts you and the other that changes you. Oh, what a phrase. I can feel that one in my groin region and the undercarriage. It's lifting me up to find a way out of no way. Super duper. Okay, so, things start to say, I'm trying to motivate you, to give you a positive message, to dig down deep, make sacrifices that are necessary to make you, your life, your world, and your loved ones stronger and better by virtue of your own dedication and sacrifice. Number 8, of the top 10 worst motivational phrases. And I say worst because, of the contextual identity of our society at large, where they will promote and infuse all of our cultural mechanisms with phrases that are dedicated to demotivating us. So by virtue of the fact that top 10 worst of lists, motivational phrases are empowering and propulsive in their nature, trying to get you to, boost your spirits and grab onto life's butt with both hands and squeeze the marrow out of the giant ass of life for once. So by the power brokers' version of life that they've imposed upon us, and it is imposed on us already, it's done. It's a done deal. We're already victimized. But by their way of looking at things, this list of motivational phrases I'm giving you is bad. It's the worst motivational phrases there are. Because it's trying to be positive. And everything else around us is negative. That's what they do. It's their raison d'etre, baby. Number 8. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. Dun, dun, dun. You know it, bitch. When tough gets rough, the tough get rough. The rough get tough. How does that go? God damn it. You people are useless. Can't you just chime in while I'm doing this? The comment, goddamn comment section. You freaking freeloaders. Number 7 of the top 10 worst motivational phrases. The road to nowhere is paved with excuses. Oh, that's the double dipper. Harsh is, oh man, that's harsh. That's strong medicine. Yeah. That's the feng shui of motivational phrases right there. It sets it all up for positive interactions between you and the world around you. Listen to these words, the incredibly inspirational words. Number 6, intensity builds immensity. Oh, baby. I'm on a roll, a Kaiser roll. A nice pastrami sandwich with a big scoop of Crisco. All right, so top 10 worst motivational phrases. Top 10 worst list here coming at you. Number 5, the extra mile is never crowded. Yeah. Bang zoom to the moon, Alice. Oh, see, I would get cancel cultured for just that one little slip up. Ralph Cramden. For I don't know, 30-something years of my life, Ralph Cramden is funny. Now it gets you killed. It's beaten up on Chicago's north side until you're dead and your shop is ruined and your 30-year dream of creating a distribution network for those who've been marginalized by the mainstream media cultural apparatuses has been crushed into dust by the very people that you were trying to save. Oops. Did you hear that? That was regrettable. Number 4. Only he who can see the invisible can do the impossible. Hey, whoa. That's a noodle scratcher, right? But please refrain from scratching your noodle in public. Only he who can see the invisible can do the impossible. Yeah, baby, dig it. Number 3, the top 10 worst of motivational phrases. Pain is weakness. Leaving the body. Ooh, suck on that one, all you couch potatoes. I bet you hearing that one alone probably just get you, giving you an itchy ass and want you to, get up and finally do something for once. I mean, other than something selfish. Oh, I hate you. I don't even know you. And I know you, and I know that I hate you. Number 2 of the top 10 worst of lists of motivational phrases. No matter how small the burdens are, you're still outdoing everyone on the couch. Oh, I presaged that one. I didn't read ahead. I didn't know that the next one was going to be about a couch when I ad-libbed the thing about the couch potatoes. This is serendipitous right here. This is kismet. We're experiencing kismet together. I think sometimes that, when you have that sort of kismet or that thing that where the world speaks to you when you're like thinking about like Chuck Berry or something like that, and all of a sudden a Chuck Berry song comes on the radio and you're like, whoa, Jesus Christ, what the hell? Or like in the movie Repo Man, that guy is talking about how you're like thinking about a plate of shrimp or something like that, and then someone says the word shrimp. He calls it the lattice of coincidence. I think that this is like, I think that this is the language. This is all these things that happen, these coincidences, these this kismet stuff is all the language between us and uh, the hereafter. I don't know, like whatever is out there in the universe, like something else besides what we're living through here on planet Earth. That this is it's communicating with us. This is a means by which the next level or whatever it is communicating with us. We just haven't found the Rosetta Stone to translate what these things mean and or to follow it to a means of being able to comprehend what these messages are and why they exist. All right. But anyway, so let's get to number one here. Finally made it, navigated our way through the top 10 worst of motivational phrases. It never gets easier. You just get stronger. Yes. And ain't that the truth, though? If you have the courage of your convictions, curiosity did not kill the cat. The lack of curiosity is what kills cats. Ignorance is not bliss. It's the opposite of bliss. The only things that can hurt you in life are things that you're ignorant of. Pretty much. And death. All right, so anyway, I've got some extra credit. I just had too many motivational phrases. Not enough to do a second top 10 worst of, but too many good ones to let them all slide. So here we go. Just a few extras for you. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Ooh. Ooh. Coming up next, another sparkling bit of inspirational phrasing. Pain is temporary. Quitting lasts forever. Oh, yeah. Let it sink in, America. Yeah. Now we're having some fun. We're getting some, this is some heavy lifting we're doing here. I couldn't be more proud of you. Honestly, I didn't think you had it in you to stick through it and to come on this journey with me of discovery, self-discovery, a reawakening of sorts. Where we're starting to, now we see that there are maybe some of this is on me. So, and each of us for allowing ourselves to become victimized, for spending our lives watching 5 hours of TV a day, by thinking that ignorance is bliss and giving up and giving into it, or watching these movies and projecting them at face value only and not taking the time to critically think about movies and television and music all being, based on some malefactor's desire to brainwash us into becoming mindless, obedient zombies. All right? Here's a couple more extra credit ones. Don't ask for a light load. Rather, ask for a strong back. Ooh, that almost sounds like Kennedy's inauguration speech. Ask not what you can do for, etc. And then here's another one. Well done is better than well said. That's right. It's a new twist on an old favorite of, don't judge people by their words, judge them by their actions. And I think that's especially important to apply to the so-called leaders of the Democratic Party and the DNC and all those sellout, phony right-wingers in sheep's clothing. Because they're all sold out with no place to go and doing everything they can to nuzzle up to the rich billionaire class. Republican politicians are transparent. They believe in bigotry and stealing and dishonoring the country and its people, and they love it, and it works for them. Anyway, two more, and then I'll let you go. The more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in combat. That's a good one. But it fires up the blood. And then finally, you have to be at your strongest when you're feeling at your weakest. And I love that one. And, sometimes, hey, look, sometimes you got it in you. Sometimes you don't. It's the luck of the draw. It really is. People say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And I managed to, I created all this wealth and by all my efforts and everything like that. Nobody does this alone. Nobody has a free ride. You're lucky if you're born with the chemicals inside you that allow you to be, vivacious or energized and allow you to pick yourself up when you're down or when you've been beaten up and, or whatever. To find that resilience within yourself, that's a luck of the draw. Not everybody's got that. A lot of people, were born into families where the people hated them and hated like unwanted children and stuff like that, or crack houses, or people who are drunks, and lots of different things happen to people that's above and beyond their ability to be able to contend with it or rise above it. We're all those people who've gotten a little boost from having, certain innate physical, emotional, financial benefits. It's nature versus nurture. And it's a lot of it is nature. A lot of it is luck of the draw. And then there's a lot of it that's nurture. And it's never somebody just out on their own who just created all their energy and all their intellect or their athletic prowess or their good looks or anything like that. It's just bestowed upon them. Do Bert? Anyway, that's all I got for you. This time on Top 10 Worst Motivational Phrases. I feel, real enthusiastic about everything, really. I don't think I've ever been happier. So anyway, before I go, everything I said here is opinions, to the best of my knowledge and ability to be able to come up with, pull back the curtain on the entirety of life in the big city, as it were. And, again, I insist that any questions that you got on the things I might have asserted here, that you go look it up for yourself, you freaking moron. If you're out there believing anything that you hear, then, just victim and your complacency of just, sort of falling in line with these, spiritless, monstrous jerk-offs is causing a lot of harm for the entirety of the world. That's why we're in such dire straits right now and looking down the barrel of an AI robot gun that very well could be within, less than a decade. Could spell the end of the human race. Why would the billionaire class want to keep us around? What we were, the only reason they kept us around is because they acted like parasites, sucking all the life out of us while we created all their wealth and power by acting as like sort of virtual slaves. Some in more comfortable positions than others, but none of us being autonomous, none of us being able to get out of the cycle of being immersed in a fantasy world that they've created. Again, none of us knowing the objective truth, none of us having free will. Because if you don't know the truth, if you don't know the truth of your surroundings, how can you make a real choice? You can't. You don't even know what's guiding us. It's just, we're all just like on autopilot. Like a pinball, going through a pinball machine. Ding, ding, dinging, because we're ding, ding, dingies. Bouncing around. There's absolutely nothing within our control. Because everything we're immersed in is a bunch of lies. It's like a fairy tale. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so proud to be able to live long enough to provide you with this list. Let's try to, get through this whole thing together. What do you say? Oh, no, one more thing.